So extrovert, you got that one socially, and then we have your introvert is more of you staying inside more. You rather be with fewer people or by yourself.
So you want to know?
So those are more social
if
terms.
Those two people are dating, right?
Yeah, she said tips on. So extrovert. So I would say I am more introverted than extroverted, and Todrick is very extroverted. So
it's a happy medium somewhere.
Yeah, I would say in the beginning when we dated, like for example, there were times when he would have actual house parties at his house, and I would be in his room the whole entire time because I'm a mixture, but I'm more introverted. So I didn't care what they had going on in there as long as I was in the room. But we still made it work because sometimes we would go out together. And then sometimes he would stay in. But I think he rather be
George Southern days.
George Southern Day, right. He was this right here.
George Southern
he would talk to anybody, you know. Me, I may fool with you, I may not fool with you, but dating one another, you just make it work. You come into his introverted world sometimes, and then you try to work on him coming out into you being more social. But you have to compromise. It just can't be, I'm always into what you do, and the other person never comes to the side of what you want to do. It's all about compromising, I believe.
I would say because the extrovert would never have a problem because they don't mind being around people. It would always be the introvert that would have the problem. So I would say if you're trying to get an introvert to go out and do some stuff, start small with small groups. You know what I mean? Like start with small groups, maybe just like a couple dating night, and then maybe, like hosting something at your house where that person is more comfortable in a comfortable setting.
Yeah.
Host a couple, couples night, a couple of friends over, and work from there. And that way that person doesn't feel like that they're putting themselves out there in danger or around people they don't know.
Ebony said that his introverted world is boring. And you know what? I think I would say this too. One of the things that I try not to do as him being an extrovert is judge him because this is who he is. So he, like, when we went to Memphis, he was talking to everybody that walked by. Make a friend just like that. Me, I have to scope out. I have to see what the vibe is, see if I want to fool with that person or not. I may talk to him, I may not. I'm going to speak, but I'm on a whole different level than he is. But I try not to stand back and judge, why he got to talk to everybody. And he doesn't sit back and say, well, why you always just let that person be who they are. But you said it's boring to you. So you may have to figure out
what. They're talking about how you date that person, though.
Well, if she says he's boring, she has to figure out what he likes to do that may be exciting to her. Because what you think is boring, he may, just because he's not as social, he may have some things interesting going on in his life.
That's the thing.
And but she needs to figure that out.
But what I'm saying is, if one of the persons is not social, the social person is trying to get the person that's not social into social activity. Because if you're not social, we can't always just be doing stuff that's not social. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't just always, because it's not going to be any good. That person may want to just go to a chess museum. Ain't nobody in there.
But,
you know but that's what I'm saying. You got to figure it out. But I think the person that's more introverted they gonna be the boringest person.
Not necessarily. I'm more introverted and I am not boring.
But you ain't that boring though.
But
what I'm saying is you more introverted, but at the same time you will say, well, I would do this with you. You know what I'm saying? Like that person, they got to be able to go out.
Well, maybe they need to sit down maybe she needs to sit down and talk to him and see if he will compromise and say, oh, well, I won't go to the club, but I may go to a sports bar.
Yeah, that's what
something like that. Maybe just communicate a little bit more. Because like I'm telling you, sometimes some of the things you do. But all these people I don't know.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God! Now you want to burn sage?
I'm good.
Wait! Whoa! Wait!
What? No, I'm saying more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of the people I don't even hang out like that. I just
valid.
when I go out, I meet people, but I don't be out there like that. Don't try to put me out there like that. I can't meet a stranger. I put it to you like that.
Well, I mean,
if I go somewhere, I'm gonna have me some fun. I'm gonna meet people, but I do keep people that are distant, and I know how to read people, so I'm real good at that. So
Ebony, just sit down and have a conversation. Say, hey, what are some things that you like to do?
They're not boring.
Don't call them boring.
Shit.
Because then you're looking at, this is everybody's boring. Makeup is different. God designed all of us to be different. Everybody's not, hey, and all out there like that and willing to empty them who I am to anybody that they meet. Everybody's not like that.
Who's saying you got to empty yourself to meet
Hey,
people?
LaTanya.
Who's saying
your cousin?
You got
Carlene's daughter. Hey.
But who's saying you got to empty yourself to meet people, though? See, that's what I'm saying. That introverted mind, that mind state that y'all folk be in.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. That's where that judgment comes in.
It ain't a judgment.
I think that extroverted people are quick to judge introvert, it's vice versa. We're quick to judge one another, and we don't sit down and have a discussion about, well, what are some of the things that you like to do? And it goes back to interest. When you are dating someone, like when we started dating, I mean, the way you love football was on a whole different level that I was not ready for. And I was willing to be like, look, I'm not fooling with him, but I had to understand that you love football. So I had
to the conversation.
Because, like I just said, how it ties in, we have to know what our interests are. I said it's just like
an extrovert.
Because I said it's just like finding out people's interests, and then I started giving you an example, and you cut me off with asking me how does that.
So I wanted to know. That's why I cut you off. I wanted to know, but now I guess I know. But go ahead. I digress.
Like I said, this is how I'm tying it in. With the introvert and the extrovert, you sit down and talk to that person to see what is interesting to them. And it may not always be in a social way. So you, Miss Ebony, may have to may have to compromise and do something with him that may not be social. But it might still be exciting.
But nobody said that.
Todrick, you know what?
No, nobody.
We're moving on. Hey, Fallon, come get your cousin.
Nobody said that.
Everybody just needs to understand each other. And that's what I'm saying. Just compromise and say, hey.
But listen, though. I think what the problem is, maybe what she's trying to say, she can correct me, is that.
I'm not trying to say nothing.
No,
I said what I said.
What that person is online
don't get me started.
What I'm saying is, they might want to go out, venture out a little bit, and the person that's not wanting to do that is hindering them from doing that, and they may think that is fun, going out, just doing a little something. Not got to be extravagant, but the other person like, I don't really want to go nowhere.
So like tonight, my introvert came out when we went.
Yeah, I did thought about it.
Yeah, when we went to the acoustic little thing at the winery, it was cool. But when we stepped up in that hookah bar and sometimes I do like things like that. I do, but you ready for it every time. I'm not ready for all that all the time.
I'm just an adapter. I can adapt to any situation.
Man.
I can adapt to an introvert. People that don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm somebody that don't.
I can stay home and watch The Notebook. You know what I'm saying? I can do that. Color Purple. I can do that. So
I want to know from everybody watching who's dating or married to a person who is the opposite. Are you two introverts, or are you an introvert and an extrovert, or are you two extroverts? Because I think sometimes it's usually one of each, and you have to compromise.
True, that is it. But that Paula Abdul song, Opposites Attract, go listen to that song. I
That
like
song
going to the movies.
That song was playing in some
watching
store the other.
TV.
But yeah, so.
But I think the introverted
Compromise.
people are the people that had the problem.
The who?
Introverted.
So you see there goes that judge.
That had the problem. Because you got to think about it. You don't want to do nothing. You just sit. You just want to. Most of the time.
Introvert does not mean boring. It does not mean boring.
It don't mean it, but it equal it. It don't mean that, but it equal it. I'm just saying though, you don't want to do nothing though. Like you just want to sit home. You don't want to be around people. You don't want to go around nobody's family. Like you don't want to go nowhere. Like your ass been in COVID since you were born. Quarantine.
Ooh, boy. When we were quarantined, boy, I was loving that, boy.
That's what I'm saying. Like you been in quarantine.
Boy, I was loving it.
Nobody want to do that. Nobody want to do that. Hey,
listen.
Straight up.
Let's talk about this. If you're an introvert, maybe you are more in tune with yourself.
That's a lie.
You don't have to be around other people all the time.
You can say that to make yourself feel good. But extrovert, get what? We don't think that extrovert people ain't in tune with themselves.
I didn't say that.
That's what you just said.
Perhaps. But you would.
What you mean perhaps?
You were calling us boring?
Yeah.
No, I'm not boring.
Any introvert person is boring. Because you don't want to do nothing.
Now you acting like, now you saying what Ebony just said.
Because it's the truth.
Ebony.
It is the truth.
He like you. He will send you a prize and everything.
It's the truth. Because you got to understand.
Listen to this. I went to our friend Google. And they're saying extroversion and introversion refer to where people receive energy from. Extroverts are energized by socializing in larger groups of people, having many friends, instead of few intimate ones, while introverts are energized. But you gotta listen to the words they're using.
I'm listening. I said I'm listening. That's all I said.
Energized by spending time alone or with a smaller group of friends. So just because I like to be with a smaller group of friends, why does that make me boring? I don't want the energy of a stranger. I may not know anything about that person, but I can have just as much fun with 3 or 4 friends.
Okay.
Y'all pull energy out from me.
I'm not gonna argue the point. I'm just saying